Wolfburn Langskip, it's cask strength. It's unchill filtered. It's natural in color. Bourbon cask, delicious whiskey. What is this like? Well, you better stay tuned for the Whisky Whistle. What's up, my whiskey people? Thanks for joining in. I'm Mark, the host here of Whisky Whistle, where I've been bringing you fantastic whiskey and other spirits content since 2015. And I've got Wolfburn, the first on the channel. The first ever Wolfburn. Now, this whiskey distillery has been around since 2015, 2014, somewhere around there. They've come of age. And we're going to check that out together. But I realized, why is this so dusty? Well, anyway, let's get that poured into my 1920s whiskey blender's glass, which has a very small opening. There we go, roughly 30 milliliters. I figure it's the first time it's been on the channel. I better do it fancily. Let's do it up. Now, if you've got your own Wolfburn Langskip, then get that poured, follow along, and feel free to share your tasting notes in the comments. A very interesting box. Probably we want to see them maybe do away with the box to just save that waste, right? But lovely navy blue color, and I love their wolf that looks very dangerous, very lovely. This is a 70 milliliter bottle. It's 58% at cask strength. And what else do we have here? Oh, that's called a sea wolf. Very cool. According to ancient lore, the sea wolf did liveth both on sea and land. Well, isn't that interesting? I don't have too much information here, but they talk about long distillation. So is that 100 hours or more? Wouldn't that be great? Gentle distillation, that should mean slow. And here we've got first fill bourbon barrels. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll get rid of that for now. So it's non-chill filtered. Let's check out that color first of all. What do we see there for color? Definitely a lemony hue. It looks like Ardbeg, doesn't it? Natural color, first fill bourbon. Probably a little bit darker being first fill bourbon. Now, I think that's a good choice of glass. Of course, a standard a standard Glencairn glass would also work very well. This particular glass, what I like about it is that the distance from the whiskey to my nose, that's going to be, well, roughly the same. But what it does do is that it concentrates those vapors because the opening is quite a bit smaller, about 20% smaller by my calculations. So let's get into that nose. And before that, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little button right over here. And also hit that bell. Ding, 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 ding. That way, my whiskey reviews are going to be queued up in your YouTube feed. Wouldn't that be great? And don't forget to check me out on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Whisky Whistle. Join the Whisky Whistle crew. Rather fitting with this Langskip title. Whoa! Super intense. Boy, if you're going to use a glass like this, start from afar. A very, very intense aromas. Freshly washed glass. See, some people like to wash their glassware and then put it away. But then you run into a problem with how long it's been there, aromas from the cupboard, and other things that are stored in that cupboard. So what I would do is normally just rinse them so they're relatively clean and then give it a wash and a dry before I want to use them. What do you think? Okay, so pineapple, vanilla and pineapple, some Granny Smith apples, green notes, a little bit of something like not a spearmint, but a mint, a very sweet mint. It smells a little bit like Vinho Verde, which is a lovely, fresh, unaged wine that you get from Spain. Beautiful aromas. Wow. Vinho Verde and Sauterne, what is that called again? Not Sauternes, but Sauvignon Blanc. There we go. Beautiful. A little bit of light, underripe melon. But the pineapple, boy, oh boy. Some of the things that I say, it's just so funny. I've had some comments that people compare me to, for example, the whiskey version of Mr. Dress Up. Anyway, what can I say? I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. It's me. If you don't like my style, if you don't like me saying, boy, oh boy, well, then just hop on that train and get on over to someone else. But wow, it's just such wonderful wine, fresh wine, Cabernet, the Sauvignon Blanc, the Vinho Verde. A little bit astringent almost. And something that you could smell for a good hour before you even get into the whiskey. All right, let's check out that palate together. A big cheers to all of the Whisky Whistle crewmates on Patreon. Hey, fellas and gals. So glad that you've found this review, and so happy to have you in my corner on my boat, grabbing those oars. The palate. Sweet, candy, jellies, candy, fresh and sweet, delicious, pear drops, and whoops, sorry, Mike. Sweet flowers like freesia, fruity flowers. Those are very fruity flowers. But that green note that I mentioned, green gage, some Korean sukdak. Sukdak is mugwort flavored rice cake. So fresh and yummy. And it's very intensely flavored. So I want to add all of that. That's going to be about 2 milliliters. I think a little bit more would be good. And I'm doing that because I remember what this is like, and I've had this much of the bottle already. Now, although this is not 10 years old, it's definitely mature enough. This is 8+ years old on average, I would say. 7? No less than 7. And my eyes are burned by these tasting notes here. They mentioned chocolate. No dark chocolate here. You got to try to put tasting notes that are more based in fact than fiction. They mention almonds. Yeah, I don't get really anything very nutty either. Nutty aromas most of the time are an indicator of age. Vanilla, definitely. But no, these sweet, fresh, lovely wine aromas are just gorgeous. No. They talk about caramel. I would say that that's more of a kind of a maple fudge, the white colored ones, if you know what fudge is. Truly a white wine lover's whiskey, and this has no white wine casks. There's no wine casks. These are just bourbon casks. They mentioned dried apples. Yep, could be so. And the bursting on the palate, absolutely. Why am I putting it there? I don't know why. I've added water now. Let's get into the palate with water. A slight zesty, Sprite, sweet flavor coming in there. Some sweet mint. Still that big, beautiful white wine aromas, which are just lovely. And you can see the fruit fly coming in for the sweet aromas. He's coming right for the glass. That gives you a little bit of a hint of what we've got in the glass here. Final sip. Should I add a little more water? Why not? It's my channel. I can do what I want. No. I'm the anti-whiskey tuber. I'm not trying to optimize my timing. I just want to share this moment together with you. Now, again, I'd love to see your tasting notes of Langskip or any other Wolfburn in the comments. So leave those there. What do you think of this review? How does this whiskey sound to you if you haven't tried it yet? Have you been hesitating? Stop hesitating. This bottle is definitely something that you need, and you can just see how sweet it is with those that little fruit fly coming in for the kill. apple chips, sweet, dried pear, candied pear, pear desserts, some type of an orchard sorbet. Intensely sweet, extremely well made. Beautiful whiskey. Green notes are very lovely, working their way through this whole event. And especially that takeaway of the Vinho Verde or the Sauvignon Blanc, the fresher style, the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, not the French, which would be a little bit more oaky. Quite lovely. Let's get on to that Whisky Whistle whiskey score for my first ever Wolfburn. Wow, this is fantastic. So, what is that whiskey score going to be? It's going to be 88 out of 100. You heard it, 88 out of 100 is the Whisky Whistle whiskey score for Wolfburn Langskip. 58% cask strength, there we go. Non-chill filtered, natural in color. It doesn't have an age statement. It should have one. That would be so nice. Is it 7-8 years old? Something like that. Beautiful whiskey, and I'm definitely going to be looking out for more Wolfburn, especially their 10-year-old that came out earlier this year, I believe. Final taste. So delicious. Look how much of that I've drunk. This tells you how much I'm enjoying this. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm Mark. You're watching Whisky Whistle. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You want to do that, and you want to click that bell. Ding, 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 ding. That way your YouTube channel, your YouTube feed will be queued up with my content. Wouldn't that be great? I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you every day in your whiskey feed. Thanks for checking this out. And I'll sign off here. Take care. What's going to be next on the channel? I have forgotten to do that the last couple of videos. I think we'll stick with this bourbon theme. And we're going to get into something from Arran Distillery on the Isle of Arran, and that is their quarter cask. That's what's next. You better stay tuned because it's lovely. Okay? Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye now.